Why does one compliment make us happy, but one rejection destroy our entire mood? And why do so many people secretly depend on validation just to feel worthy? Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strong One Diaries. Why does one compliment sometimes make us feel so happy, yet one rejection can completely affect our confidence? Why do so many people silently depend on approval, reassurance, replies, attention, or validation just to feel emotionally secure? And perhaps many people listening today secretly struggle with this more than they admit. Because human hearts naturally want to feel accepted, valued, appreciated, chosen, emotionally seen. But when self-worth slowly becomes dependent on external validation, the heart begins living emotionally unstable. One compliment lifts us up, one silence brings us down. And over time, constantly searching for reassurance can become emotionally exhausting. So today, let us talk honestly about validation, insecurity, emotional self-worth, and how healing begins when we stop depending completely on others to feel valuable. The dangerous part is when self-worth becomes dependent entirely on likes, replies, attention, appreciation, people choosing us. Then peace becomes unstable emotionally. How many people silently feel not enough without external reassurance? Can we lose ourselves trying to be accepted by everyone? What happens when self-worth depends completely on validation? Sometimes the constant need for validation does not begin in adulthood. It often begins much earlier, in the moments where people did not feel emotionally seen, appreciated, understood, or reassured enough. Some people grew up constantly trying to earn love, avoid criticism, please others, prove their worth, or become good enough for acceptance. And slowly the heart learns a painful pattern. Maybe my value depends on how others respond to me. So later in life, one compliment feels emotionally uplifting, but one rejection feels deeply personal. People begin depending heavily on attention, replies, praise, social media reactions, reassurance, being chosen just to feel emotionally secure. And over time, this becomes exhaustingly quietly. Because when self-worth depends completely on external validation, peace becomes unstable. Confidence becomes fragile. Emotions rise and fall according to other people's responses. But healing begins when we slowly stop handing our entire worth into the hands of others. Not everyone will always understand us, choose us, praise us, appreciate us, or validate us emotionally. And painful as that may feel sometimes, our value still remains unchanged. Perhaps true healing is learning to value ourselves gently, to stop over-seeking approval, to become emotionally secure within, and to realize we do not need constant reassurance to deserve love, respect, and peace. And maybe some listeners today need this reminder deeply. You do not become less worthy simply because someone failed to recognize your value. If your heart searches for validation, please be gentle with yourself. The need to feel valued, accepted, and emotionally seen is deeply human. But over time, healing asks us to slowly build a quieter kind of confidence. One that does not completely collapse whenever approval disappears. Because people's opinion will always change. Attention will change, reactions will change. But your worth should not disappear every time someone fails to notice it. And perhaps true emotional freedom begins the moment we stop chasing constant reassurance just to feel enough. You're already valuable beyond likes, beyond praise, beyond validation, beyond people's temporary attention. Sometimes healing begins the moment we stop asking the world for constant proof that we are worthy and slowly begin believing it within ourselves. And always remember, healing, growth, and peace take time. Until next time on the Strong One Diaries.